They are the BFROECCRSDWC-USA, the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization of Eastern Camden County Regional School District of the West Coast of the United States of America, formerly known as the Footers. Their mission: to find a Bigfoot and to prove to the deniers of the world that they are an extant, prominent, and thriving species on our planet.
Whoa! I seen them roaming all about here.
I can't find an explanation for this.
There's something on the hill.
Bigfoot sightings have been reported for centuries, with hundreds of witnesses claiming to have seen one. And while a few of those cases were proven false, many of them are true. We're going to prove that. Today, the crew and I have set out to investigate a report in the small suburban town of Gibbsboro, New Jersey. An anonymous user contacted us and sent us a picture he took in Gibbsboro's Blueberry Hill trails of what he believes to be a Bigfoot. The first report of a foot in this town was reported in 1852, when a man by the name of Oscar North claims to have wrestled a foot until they both were so tired that they had to run home. So I have no doubt that there are feet right here in these woods.
Alright, so here we are in good old Gibbsboro. It's a beautiful town. Perfect for a foot. So let me just introduce the team. That's Slicky Boots, Joy Holga, Huckleberry, and I'm Jeff. Slicky Boots knows this terrain better than any of us. Where are we going, Slicky?
Just up this here street past the police station is an entrance to the huge interconnected trails that span the whole town.
Just like Slicky Boots said, we're going into these trails and we're going to find out whether or not this picture the anonymous user gave us is legit or not.
Going into this, I had to admit, I was nervous that this foot might ambush us while we investigate and kill us.
I have my doubts about this foot being here. It just don't seem like the right kind of habitat for them to survive in. Too much plant overgrowth for them to move in, and too little food for them to eat. But otherwise, I think it's possible.
We made our way to the site where the picture was taken, staying cautious in case of an ambush from a foot. When we arrived at the top of Blueberry Hill, we quickly got to work in recreating the picture that was sent to us.
Okay, so here we are at the place where the picture was taken. We're using Slicky Boots as our makeshift Bigfoot because, you know, he's the tallest of all of us, and you know how tall these feet get, right? So that's what we gotta do.
A little more to the left.
Come forward a little bit.
Perfect, right there. So you're interpreting this right here as the head.
No, that's the leg.
I have to say, this one's pretty darn convincing. Looking at the way the plants seem like they're getting pushed and how it looks like something sticks out, I'd say this could be pretty legit.
I have to disagree. I believe wholeheartedly that these plants around where you see a Bigfoot stick out in a weird way to make it appear that there's something there.
We've never had so much trouble trying to decipher an alleged picture of a foot before. This debate was insane!
With no clear answer to the picture, we looked to locals to tell us of any stories they have of encountering feet around the town.
So, tell me about the first time you saw a foot around here.
I was walking the trails, just enjoying myself, you know? When all of a sudden, this tree fell down behind me.
So, it was open season a few years back. My buddy and I were deep in the trails hunting deer. We got separated for a moment, and then I heard it. It was just blood curdling. I can't even reproduce it.
Alright guys, thanks for coming out to share these stories with us.
As we dig deeper and deeper into this case, and with other tales of feet shared with us, the answer to this picture was becoming more and more blurred.
Just as we were about to give up, our fighting spirit was suddenly renewed. Some local skeptics heard we were in town and contacted us.
Finally, some other skeptics to help us balance things out.
So, you don't believe in Bigfoot?
Oh, certainly not.
These guys are idiots.
You know, it's interesting how many fossils we have of all kinds of different animals that date back to prehistory, from hundreds of millions of years ago, even from modern day animals like the moose. Do we have any fossil evidence of Sasquatches?
Allow me to distinguish between a moose and, say, a gorilla, a tropical species. Species like the moose from the north would have very often been preserved in ice, while tropical species lived in temperate climates and henceforth wouldn't be preserved in ice. So for the longest time, there were no fossil evidence of gorillas.
I don't think these guys know what fossils are.
After we dealt with those skeptics, we realized that we weren't getting anywhere with this investigation, so Slicky Boots and I went out to the trails that night to see if we could find a foot, as they are primarily nocturnal animals.
Alright, it's about 10 o'clock p.m. right now. We're out in the woods. It's a perfect time for footing.
Slicky, you want to start us off?
Nice! Did you hear that?
Oh yeah.
Did that come from the west?
I think so.
Well, then we best get moving.
We made our way towards the source of the response call, letting out a few more ourselves to be sure we were headed in the right direction. As we got closer and closer, we eventually found ourselves at the lake, where we experienced a strange happening.
What is it? Did you hear that? There it was. Dude, it's skimming rocks across the water. Get out your thermal camera. Dude, it's a foot. Where? Over there. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We get over to the other side to catch this foot on camera. I finally bust out my light to shine it right on him, and it's one of the skeptics from earlier. He's saying he saw something over here too, and he came over to investigate. Sure, it was disappointing, and the skeptic was probably a little embarrassed, but frankly, I was a little frustrated.
I'm about to call it quits.
This is the most frustrated I've been footing in a long time.
It seemed we just might not get to the bottom of this. We was packing up, getting ready to leave town, when suddenly, Slicky Boots noggin hatched an idea.
We had no idea what Slicky Boots was doing or what he was thinking, so we watched him.
Slicky Boots found out how to tell if there was a Bigfoot in that picture. You see, if you increase the saturation, and then remove the saturation, and then print it out, and then color it sideways with an invisible ink pen, and then use the UV light of the pen, you'll clearly see a Bigfoot.
We couldn't believe it. We actually managed to solve this case in just the nick of time, and to think it was that simple.
I'd say this mission was a tremendous success. We got yelled at by feet.
We got stories from locals.
We took out those skeptics.
And we determined that the trails of Gisborough are thriving with some big old feet.